Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another premium review. I am joined today by not only Corvus, but also NovaTempest, who is just in the call with us this time. So
Hi, I'm a guest here today.
it's a 3v1 or something. I don't know.
It's a threesome.
Yikes. All right.
Ugh.
Thanks, Nova, for
Ugh.
throwing that down. Hey, Hunter, thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate the you hosting the I buy it so you don't have to. Um, Here we have the Nova proposed this particular plane to Persia Studios. Nova, when did you propose this plane as a Tier 9 plane?
Let me go to the Wayback Machine and take a look for you, Corvus, my guy. Okay, let me take a gander here. It was. Okay, Premium Aircraft Repository. This
For
should not take me long at all to find it. Geocontest Part 3.
for those that don't know,
Okay.
NovaTempest has a massive list of planes in a forum on the official Discord where he just lists out aircraft that could be added into the game. The Gotha would be the second one that the devs have picked from his list.
Indeed so. There it is. Gotha P.60C was posted on, where is the date? The May of 2024. May
Right.
9th.
And I I have a vague recollection that we had a discussion and we briefly touched on this plane in one of your Tempest talks.
I believe we
That
did,
that
yes.
we kind of we had a we kind of skimmed over it on a Tier 9. We had a Tier 9 discussion. We kind of skimmed over a bunch of Tier 9s that were possible, and this is one of the ones that we touched on because it was weird and because it would be cool to have in the game. And one of the things we talked about as because of the possibilities was the Schrage Musik gun system, where the upward firing guns would be interesting to implement. And lo and behold, here they are on this plane. And the way that Persia Studios has implemented them is it's not quite right. I give Persia props for doing it. Man, you guys nearly nailed it. Two 30 millimeter cannons, and they have a lot of power. They have a lot of range, but the implementation's not quite right. I'm going to say why right now. The initial view when you go into manual turret mode is directly to the rear of the aircraft, which is not the way the guns look. The guns look straight up, and that's the way the view should look when you get into turret mode. And the problem is that you waste some valuable time rotating the view up to where you need to be looking, and that in that amount of time is can be fatal to what you're trying to do, and it makes this Schrage Musik setup a little less useful than it could be.
Could that be a bug?
I I don't believe it's a bug. I believe it's just a setup issue that Persia could fix, but I think that it's going to require some programming time, and that they just need to address it. I I'll I might send the developers an email to discuss it. I didn't think of it really until I started playing it. And I thought, man, you know what? This would be great if they did it. You know, if they did this one thing to make this thing useful, so that when you went into manual turret mode, boom, you're looking in the direction of where these guns fire, because it's not really a turret, right? You can't move the guns at all. They're facing the way they're going to face, and that's it. The only way to get them to face somewhere else is to move the entire plane. So that's the way they are. They're fixed guns, and that's the way they shoot. So you should be looking in the direction that they shoot. So far, the only planes I've been able to down with them are planes from a command center, the bomber flights from a command center. I suspect that somebody's going to figure out how to really use these guns, because they're 30 millimeter cannon and they have good range and good damage output. Somebody's going to figure out how to use these things and going to get really good at them. I'm not that guy right now.
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead, Corvus.
So, not being that guy, I can't tell everyone that, hey, these guys work really great, because for me, they don't work that great right now, but someone's going to figure it out. Someone's going to make them work, and someone's going to be really deadly with these things. I'm not that guy, but I see the potential. All right.
I do as well, yes. The one thing I wanted to point out is that I can tell that what they did was they kind of looked over the replica model. There's a replica. I mentioned this in the post. There's a replica of this aircraft. It's not the actual one, but it's a replica in Richland, Germany. And there's a difference between the replica and the model. See, the replica, there's 4 Schrage Musik. The game one only has 2. So I did want to point that out as a discrepancy kind of thing. I'm not going to neg them on inaccuracy or anything like that, like I did with the J6K1, but I just want to point that out, that they decided to deviate from the replica that's sitting in there in that regard.
They probably figured 430s pointed upward was a bit much.
But more than likely, I would say.
Oh, you're ready up. Okay, let's ready up and actually go up into battle.
And it was mostly spec the way I wanted to use it, to make the plane the way I wanted it. In this particular case, the Gotha has a cockpit slot, an airframe slot, 2 engine slots, and a gun slot. It has consumable slots in the same manner for all of those things. So 1 cockpit consumable slot, airframe consumable slot, 2 engine consumables, and 1 gun consumable slot. And currently, I am running experimental gun sight, experimental lightweight wing frame, experimental uprated engine, lightweight power unit, and all right, I'm looking at there we go. Sorry. Reinforced bulk carriers, because having experience with MK108s, I want burst length. I want all the burst length I can get, all the time. For consumables, I run health, I run extra boost, antioxidant. I run turn in a can in the airframe slot, and in this particular case, I'm running HEAP, high explosive armor piercing. Because sometimes those guys set fires really well. Also, they seem to do better on ground targets. Oftentimes better on ground targets. And that may be that may just be my mind, right? It may not actually be happening. So
are you saying you've got placebo?
Yeah, it could be placebo effect. So we also have another. Oh, Tempest is in with us. NovaTempest is in with us.
Yep. You can actually get a pretty good look at the aircraft now on my end, because I'm right behind it. And they're
so one of my things with this airplane is it has the way it fights is kind of a combination of, I don't know, it's sort of like the Antonov Masha, the FJ1 sort of combination between those two. It's kind of strange in how it fights and how it flies. The P.1092 maybe. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to say. How do you compare it to all of those planes? It has its own niche. It plays its own way. And personally, I think it's different enough that it's its own beast. And one of the things that it does really well, I think, is it chases heavy fighters. It chases heavy fighters really well because it accelerates nicely and it has good altitude performance.
Oh,
it has
shit.
Excellent altitude performance.
And the FJ1 spawned. Damn it. Elise plus
Generally
Boost
trying not to blow up Corvus so he can yap.
Right, thank you. I appreciate that. It doesn't matter because we're flying and we're talking to folks about how the plane is. Right?
It honestly doesn't help that one of Nova's teammates has quit. Like,
right.
Well,
and so
yeah.
you know, Nova plays Nova plays you know, how he plays. And he's a better player than I am, and that's all there is to it. Even when I'm not talking, right? So
Hey now, don't sell yourself that short.
So there's sometimes when I get the better of him, but it's not very often. It's usually when he's engaged with somebody else that I have when I get the drop on him. I think that I have decent success in this aircraft because I'm a heavy fighter main and I have extensive experience with the MK108. The MK108s are hard to use. And MK108s are short range and the shell velocity is terrible. And because the shell velocity is terrible, you get this kind of bad, I don't know, you get this situation where if you get something where you're trying to get really high angle shots against other aircraft,
high angle deflection
you have a
shots.
terrible time trying to shoot them down because especially at tier 9, because everything's moving so fast, right? Everything's moving
Right.
like at super high speed. And if everything's moving at really high speed, you're trying to get your guns on target. And you're having a tough time getting your guns on target because your stupid guns, stupid shells are going way out. It's just, it can be super frustrating.
So I guess here's like the ultimate question. Is it worth the effort of the grind, especially if you already got the Panther, which we just had the marathon for last month?
So now we're into a value proposition. This plane is interesting in its own right, and it's great as a fighter. If for those folks who are fighter mains, let's put it like that. This plane has a reason to exist and is different enough and is interesting enough that you might want to play it. for those folks who aren't fighter mains, this thing doesn't move the needle, right? This thing does not. This thing doesn't change. Doesn't change the meta at tier 9 at all, right? It's still a bomber meta. It's still a heavy fighter bomber meta at tier 9. It closes the gap a little, and I'll say that because 4 30mm cannons is nothing to sneeze at, right?
Especially on a light fighter airframe.
On a light fighter that's nimble, fast, and has good altitude. Okay. Now, I was just flying around, and I wasn't really working hard, and I got 6,500 personal points, right? I was flapping my yap and wasn't actually playing hard, and it was still 6,500 personal points. Flying a plane where it's actually sometimes hard to score hits on planes because the MK108 is not easy to use. Okay, so that's going to be the hard thing for folks to get at, is that all the other fighters at this tier, other than the TA-183, okay, which has the same guns, the guns are going to be easier to use for all the other planes at tier. The guns are going to be easier to use. Again, TA-183 accepted because it's got the same guns. It flies fast. It flies high. It's got the interesting Schrage Musik gun setup, turret setup. It's going to make you credits like crazy. It's going to like on that one. I got my ×3.
That's only for XP.
So, I didn't get a ton of stuff, but I mean, I didn't do stellar in that thing, but I still made nearly 200,000.
I almost
silver.
made 300,000 with that one game.
Right.
With just premium
Right.
time and no boosters.
Right. Because tier 9 makes a bunch of silver, and it's a premium airplane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make a boatload of silver, having a premium plane in tier 9 might be worth it. Now, here's where the value proposition comes. It's $100, folks. 100 American dollars. In World of Warplanes, 100 American dollars goes a long ways, and it might be better spent on something like premium time. In fact, it probably would be better spent on premium time, or going down and buying 3 premium planes at tier 6, right? It's waiting for a sale next year, when this thing goes on sale next year, at something less than $100. Okay, look, you get all the stuff you get on the candy trail, and you get all those crates, right? And it's going to spit out some other planes, and you're going to get some gold, right? You're going to get a bunch of other stuff. I got, out of the crates and stuff, I got something on the order of 50,000 free XP, right? And then I got a bunch of gold too. I got 10,000 gold. And so, I mean, I got some value. Oh, plus what did it give? It gave, I think it gave an experimental reinforced bolt carrier was one of the things it gave.
I'm just scrolling through the candy show right now just to kind of show off what's being awarded this year.
Right. So you
gun
get
barrels.
Right. And so you get a bunch of stuff, right? You get all that stuff, and to buy all that stuff, you'd have to spend actual real money. Okay. Still, it's $100. Persia, guys, that's that's a little bit stout for a tier 9 plane. I was a little bit squinty at $85 for the Panther. But the
I was
Panthers,
terrified at that much money for the Panther. I'm so glad I was able to finish that marathon for pretty much free.
the Panther, the so if you compare the marathons, the 600 Candy Trail in what was it, about 30 days, 28 days, that's actually kind of a hard grind. The Panther
That's
grind
brutal.
was
Yeah.
easy.
It,
Yeah.
Panther grind relatively easy.
The reason the Candy Trail is so hard is because you can only ever earn one candy a match, and if you complete your daily, the only other factor for candies is daily missions, and the daily missions kind of suck.
They
Yes.
do. They
Yes.
need a rework.
I agree. I think they're, for folks who win 16,000 personal points, I think they should get 2 candies.
See,
So
I'm
that
pretty sure that the first year they did the Candy Trail, that was the case. That like
indeed,
every
yep.
8,000 you got a candy, but they got rid of it afterward. I'm
When we did
fairly sure.
the Hawker line for what did we get? We got the PV3, the uh,
I don't know. I
Typhoon,
wasn't there.
the Tempest, and the Seahawk. Oh, we didn't get this. We didn't get this. No, we did get the Seahawk. We got all those guys, but we got to get an additional candy when we got 16,000 personal points. But you could quit. That was the thing. You could quit when you reached 8,000.
Yeah, they changed it. They changed it last year to where if you quit early, you don't get anything.
Right.
Which, for actually making it to where games being playable, good change, right? Because the
Exactly.
XP67 marathon was absolutely horrible. I those were some of the worst games I ever had because people were getting their 8,000 and quitting. Also, Nova, we're in queue again.
I didn't. Oh,
Corvus surprise readied on me.
Sorry about that. So, and in case folks, if you like Hunter's content, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment. I am going to respond to some comment that actually got left on one of Nova's videos. One of the comments was, "Hey, don't you ever calibrate?" And the comment was to me, actually. And my answer to that is no, I don't. And the reason is I don't spend salvage on calibration because I'm not spinning that. I'm essentially not playing the roulette wheel on that. I'm not spinning the one-arm bandit on that. On the chance to min max my equipment to get get that last couple of percent. I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth the amount of silver and salvage spent, number one, and number two, I don't have the talent to exploit that equipment to its utmost. So why would I bother doing it? That's really the issue is once you get to ultimate and I'm running gold consumables, really, I mean, I'm already there, right? I'm already doing the best that I possibly can. Why should I try any harder than I'm already doing the try hardiest
Well,
that I'm
we
going to
missed
try
Nova.
hard.
yeah, I know you did.
Oh,
I got pulled into my own game.
yeah, we're in a we're in a an all bot match.
Oh wow! I got
Yeah,
pitted
we
against tens.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the lucky one.
You got
So
lucky.
here's where Nova gets to prove himself. And the deal is that I'm gonna sell this plane a little bit. This plane is good against tens. I got in the 4 games that I played testing this plane out, I played every single battle against bottom tier. I won 3 of the 4. I got a little bit lucky in that I didn't have any bomber battles. That was the only luck that I had, was that there were no bomber battles involved. But I did have competition, so that was nice. And I was able to chase heavy fighters very well with this thing, which I enjoyed. I also had no trouble turning with the fighters that I could turn with, and getting speed on the ones that I couldn't turn with. You know, like MiG, sorry, not MiG, Yak 30s, right? I was faster than the Yak 30s, and I was speedier than Yak 30s, and I could turn on like MiG 15s. Which is, you know, it's always nice being able to do the things you need to do. But it was interesting being able to do these things bottom tier, and I thought, you know, for sure that this would be one of those things where, oh my gosh, we're going to get this fighter that just can't do anything, and I'm going to be screwed, and I'm going to get a bunch of losses and not actually know what to do with this plane. Nope, that's not how it is. The plane does really well in tier 10, which is you're going to need, because you're going to see tier 10s a lot. You know, that's just the way it is when you're playing tier 9. You get to see a lot of tier 10s.
So I guess that's still the so I guess the ultimate question is still, is it worth the effort or the expense to get, if you compare it to other tier 9 premiums that you could already get access to?
I think it's worth the effort. I'm not sure if it's worth I don't know that it's worth the money. I would, if you're not going to expend the effort, then you may want to just wait till next year and buy it when it's on sale.
Because I've been debating in my head whether or not I wanted to try and, you know, save some money while I'm working over break to get the Gotha, or if I wanted to finally add the Pogo to my collection, because it should be coming on sale soon, I think, if last year was is a trend to be believed.
Well, the Pogo is from multiple years ago, so...
Well, yeah. But it's been on sale around Christmas about pretty consistently the past couple of years, from what I recall.
The crazy thing about the Pogo, the Pogo's an interesting plane. I actually enjoy playing the Pogo, which is weird because I'm not a light fighter guy. So you'd say, why do you enjoy playing the Pogo? I enjoy playing the Pogo just because it is so incredibly weird, and it flies weird, and it's fun. Its downfall is that its hitbox is almost entirely fuselage, so that it doesn't take crits at all, it just takes damage. And so you have to treat it like it's made out of glass. And of course, if it's made out of glass, you know, you have to fly it like it's Japanese light fighter. It's really what it's like. But man, when you get those 4 20mm cannons on target, holy smokes, it really lights them up. It really does a great job.
So that's been the big debate in my head: is do I want to complete my U.S. premium light fighter collection at tier 8, or do I want to spend the effort and maybe some money to get the new 9?
You know, I think you'd have more fun with this plane in your hangar than you would with the pogo. The pogo is weird and cool, but you'd have more fun. You'd have more fun with this plane. I'm almost positive you'd have more fun with this plane as your as a go-to plane where you say, "Huh, I want to fly a fighter at tier 9."
Well,
This
I do
is the
like
one.
flying wings.
Right? It's weird. It's quirky. It's I've had a lot of fun with it. And truth be told, since I've owned it, I've lost one battle. Okay, it may be not fair. I've played it in the evenings, not late in the evenings, but in the evenings on Pacific time, and that's generally not high population time on the North American server. Don't play it at high population time. I got lucky with my matchmaking here tonight. I've played a couple of battles with you that Nova went easy on me and didn't beat me up like he should have.
Well, yeah, because you're talking.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate
Being
that.
considerate, damn it.
Yes, and and we're flighted up, and we get an all bot battle, right? So it's one of those things where uh, eh, and I have experience with the MK108 30 millimeter guns, right? All these things come together to give me this particular thing. Now, maybe the next 10 times I go out in this plane, I get absolutely slaughtered. Maybe that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens. But if I'm going to take out a plane, I probably would take this one out over the Pogo. Just because I like the way this plane plays. The Pogo is fun, and I've taken it out and played it, and I have fun with it. Heck, I think I've taken it out on 321s before, and you've seen me play it out on 321s before, and it's weird and it's quirky, but I mean, when all the meta planes are in the air on 321 night, it just gets slaughtered. It's
Yeah, you can't really.
there's nothing meta about it.
The only the only way that any of those planes can get controlled is if they're so broken they get on the ban list, and a lot of the planes that are considered meta are just not that broken.
Right. Right. So this plane, it's not meta. It's not broken. It's got some downsides, right? It's big, right? It's a big plane. It if you get it in plan form, your guns are going to hit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna you're gonna take damage.
Yes.
That's it's a given. Your acceleration is slower than some of the other light fighters at tier. It turns pretty well. It's kind of a mid-range turner. Turns better than the fast fighters, and it turns worse than the turny fighters. So it's a combination.
Basically
It's a
a high.
combination turn. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a
Basically
hybrid.
a hybrid with altitude. That's pretty rare,
And
actually.
I built mine to lean into turn, and with Emma Vogel, I guess Nova got his to a 9.3, 360-degree turn.
Yep.
Mine's sitting at 9.9, but I regularly the other day was out turning a Panther, so maybe he had his built for speed. I don't know. Whoever I was going against had his might have had his built for speed, so it could have been just his bad luck. I also had turn in a can going, so So you get to take a few 30mm rounds and get critted. Pretty soon it doesn't matter what gear you've got going on, you're gonna eat it. So that's just bad luck to take a few 30mm rounds. Uh, it's the value proposition is again $100, dudes. That's really stout. It's really stout.
Especially when you
And
consider the other premium planes that they're offering in the trail really aren't that impactful.
right, they're not great. They're not great. If they offered something more in the tier 6, 7 realm,
I can understand it.
then then maybe now we're talking. Okay, now $500 is, and the candy trail is something more, where you're going, okay, this is something to strive for. But I'm going to tell your audience, hey, on my free to play accounts, I am not doing the candy trail. Um, I'm not gonna bust my tail to do this candy trail thing, and I'm uh, uh, and I'm buying this plane, and I'm gonna enjoy this plane in this account only. If they ever offer a marathon for this plane again, I might try it in a free to play account, but uh, yeah, not it's not a must have. I'm gonna tell you guys just straight up, it's not a must have. It's fun to play, and it's unusual, and I'm glad that Nova suggested it to the world and to Persia, but it's not a world beater.
Because like
It's
if
it's
you already have one of the two older tier 9 premiums like the Goblin or the Antonov, then
Or
you're
the
probably
F9F.
fine already. The F9F
Yeah,
is not older. The F9F is still new. Like this released
right,
last
right,
month. So
right.
not a lot of people have the F9F yet.
I'm going to say that that the F9F is as far as I'm concerned, is the jewel of the tier 9 premiums. I think it's the best of the group. I love the Goblin, and the Antonov is weird and kind of cool in its own way. But the the Panther is the top of the heap as far as the premiums go, and I'm glad I have it, and I'm glad that I ground for it in my free to play, um, your EU free to play account. So
All I know is with these new nines coming out, they're making the premium review for Period 3 much harder.
I will say
yes,
this as well. I am with two aircraft from the list now in the game. I am curious to see where they turn next because there are so many on that list. It's hard to miss them. But I'm genuinely curious where they go next. I actually am. And I want to thank the developers for taking all of that research seriously. And I want to give a personal shout out to XBK, who was the guy that's like, hey, I'm actually looking at this and I've been showing the guys. So I want to give a personal shout out to him. So thank you, XBK. I'm not sure if everyone will hear this, but thank you.
no, and
So
I agree with you. I'd like to also thank all of the guys at Persia, and remember, everyone, that they're working in Kiev right now, and they're working in a war zone. And not only they're working in a war zone, they're working under conditions where they don't have electricity all day. Uh, and they're putting out this stuff for us and keeping the servers on and making sure this game is running for us. And they're putting out new content for us. Um, and so I don't know. I think we owe them. We really do owe them quite a bit of thanks for doing this for us, and keeping this game alive for us. Uh, as far as I'm concerned, the $100 I spent, I'm I don't begrudge it. I really don't. I'm happy to give back to the community by doing this, so I can review this plane for the community. I'm also happy to give the $100 to keep the server on, keep the lights on, and hopefully to see the next plane. Which, if I'm going to make a case to have a plane, A36 Apache, anyone? Tier 6 multi-role, based on the Mustang. Come on now, XBK.
We've done a Tempest talks about it.
Damn
You know,
right.
there was in a very ancient version of 1.x a jet-powered P-51 at Tier 8. That would be nice to have back.
I
We
can't
will
disagree with that
see.
either. The JP, the P-51 JP. I would love to see that as well. That would be a lot of fun. It would would definitely be weird. I suspect that the way that its performance would have to bump it to Tier 9. I'm guessing. I think
The
it would be. I
the
think it'd be a
JP,
little too much for. Yeah, it'd be a little too much for Tier 8.
all it would
It'd
be is
probably
just
have to move to
a
Tier 9.
it would just be a more maneuverable Mustang because it's got the forward swept wings and it's got better acceleration because 2 engines. That would be the only difference.
You might be right.
It's got the same armament. The only significant difference is it has a jet engine and a prop, and it has forward swept wings. Which,
Hmm.
you know what? I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for another video, because we're already running a little long, and the planetism
Yep.
is activating.
Oh boy.
Right on.
Don't want to be activating his planetism too much.
That's right. We when we get together, we always have a long discussion. We get off topic, but in this particular case, we're gonna cut it short so that we can save our discussion for another time, and maybe we can have another Nova Hunter Corvus discussion triad. Let's call it a triad.
I want to
Uh,
call it a round table.
there you go.
Sure. Yeah.
It's and then we can have these kind of discussions again. Again, people, leave a comment here because we really do want to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell notification. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to doing this with you again.
We all do.
Yep. We will see you all for whenever the hell I make another video and all that crap. And
Subscribe, comment, thumbs up.
yes,
Check all our other shit.
yes. Links will be in the description. Bye.
Till then.